So we're catching up with George Elokobi the day before the 2025-26 season gets underway. And George, we'll come on to that in just a second, but it's probably the first time we've had a proper sit-down chat since before that promotion final away to Bournemouth. So let's take a look at the summer. Did you manage to get some time away from football before the madness started again?
Yeah, I did with my family. It was important. Obviously was disappointed not getting over the line in terms of being in the playoffs. But more importantly, that time away gave me a chance with my family to recover, to reflect on how the season is gone. But it was important that I took time to obviously spend with my family and managed to get away to the States and have some good family time there with my extended family as well in America.
It's so important, isn't it? Because once the season starts, it just feels like you're on a treadmill, doesn't it? It's just continuous right the way through until the end of April. So to actually get that little bit of time out, because football families do sacrifice a lot, don't they, during the season? Every Saturday afternoon you can't be with them because you're here doing your job.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. We are human beings as managers. We understand the magnitude of the job in hand, representing a community. Obviously, myself is Maidstone United and the Maidstone community. But also behind myself, I've got a family that depends on myself, that needs me at home as well. And you have to try and get the right balance if there's any. But I do have a supporting partner, and my kids do understand what daddy does. And it's important that, they've given me that chance, the freedom to be able to be myself, to be able to be the manager that I am, and with the support of the management team that I've got behind me. That comes with the support of my immediate family. And it's important that, we don't lose sight of that. So yes, when it was that time to get a break, we did go away and we did have that family time. But also gave me a chance to obviously reflect on another successful season. When we did started the season, haven't made so many changes, haven't rebuilt, the football club again in terms of the squad, the personnel that came in last season. It was a tough start to the season, and then we managed to add some puzzles to what where we wanted to add within the squad to give us the balance that we needed. We picked a bit of form and we got that momentum. And then we had a bit of a stop-start midway through the season, which was a good challenge as well, which we overcame. But we never lose sight of what we wanted to do with the squad and where we needed our objective where we needed to finish, and that objective was achieved. And in the end, we found ourselves being away from home, playing 3 games, and there were 3 tough games. And that took its toll on the squad. The players gave it their all in the finals, and we were shot by 1 goal. So we looked at all the positives, how, we went throughout the season, and then fell stuck in that last hurdle. However, then you have to look at how we've improved individuals within the team structure, how we've done it as a community with our fans, our loyal fans. They were there, they supported us up to that very last moment where we all watched, obviously, Bournemouth leave the trophy, which was important. And we've done that with the utmost respect. And now it was time for us to rebuild a squad again. And this season has been no different. It's been challenging, but also a challenge that we've proven that we can take upon ourselves. And myself as a manager, the leader, to ensure that we have a competitive team comes the first game of the season, which happens to be obviously tomorrow. But we still know there's work to be done within the squad to add to the squad. I know that. I've been very patient. We have been patient. And we'll keep making sure we try to attract the right players here and try to make sure we have the right dynamism within the team, the squad. But more importantly, is the players that we've got already. We need to be able to trust them. Bringing 18 new players in, it takes a bit of time for these players to gel. However, it's not an excuse. We have to hit the ground running. We have to be competitive. We have to make sure the players understand the cultures of Maidstone United Football Club. And that's what we've been doing as a management team. And yes, It's been intense but enjoyable at the same time, because that's what you get with myself as a manager. Yeah, I'm very, very intense as a manager, but a fun one as well. But again, it's for the benefit of making sure the players that we've recruited, we've put together, know that we trust in them, and we believe in their qualities, and then we can go out and compete as a team, and that's the most important thing for us, and that's why we've gotten the players that we've got, so we can try to make sure we go out and be a team.
As you say, when you bring in the number of new players that you have, it takes time. These are individuals. You've got to form a team out of them. But when you look back to the first time you all came together, which I think was the last weekend in June, to where we are now, second weekend of August, as you say, it's never going to be the polished thing here and now. But are you pleased with the progress that's been made in the last 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, the last 6 weeks has been lots of positives in terms of the progress made by individuals. Some are a bit slow to settle to start with, but again, they have to get up to speed in terms of the work we was doing. It was kind of a culture shock to some of them. Like you touched on it, having 18 new individuals, these are all human beings, and you got to learn what their characteristics are, and you got to know them and try to dig deep to find out more about them away from football. And as a manager, I take that time to make sure I try to learn as much as I can of these individuals, but also they need to be able to learn about who their manager is, not just as a football manager, but also as a man. What are my values, some of the things I believe in, and if it ticks one of their boxes, then surely they can start beginning to trust and take on those messages and how we do things at Manchester United Football Club. And the players have just, they've just been so professional in terms of their approach, their behaviors, their commitment, their desire to want to learn, to want to improve, to want to progress. And we've seen that week in, week out. And, the players are just enjoying being in such a professional environment in Manchester United Football Club, and they want to give their all for this football club and for this community. And that's all I can ask of as their manager, to support them through the good times and also through the bad times, because they are humans. We will have some bad moments, but as a manager, we need to be there as a management team. We need to be there for them and make sure we support them, because we know, again, it's not going to be a quick gelling, or we're not going to come together just from game 1 to game 46. There are games that will come unstuck as a group, and we need to find a way of bouncing back and making sure we carry on working behind closed doors like the players have been doing this last 6 weeks. So a big thank you to all the players, and not just the players, but also to the staff as well that has been helping myself in making sure we get the players ready for what's to be a very, very tough and challenging season ahead of us, an exciting one as well.
Tough, exciting, challenging. I think that's everything I was going to put in this final question. When we look back at last season, I think it was the last game, there was any one of 7 teams that could have taken that championship on that day. But throughout the whole season, all 46 games, it was a very competitive league. As you say, quite a tough one, a challenging one. This season, again, on paper, looks similar. You've had the likes of Dagenham coming down, Ebbsfleet, Maidenhead United, other teams coming up that are unknown quantities. Whatever happens between August the 9th and the end of April, it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride as per usual in National South.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. All the teams in the National League South deserve to be in the National League South, and at this moment in time, everyone is making predictions, which is good to see. But more importantly, I can only concentrate on Manchester United Football Club and what we do here to ensure that we are very, very disciplined in how we do things, in how the team is structured, how training sessions are operated by, and how the players take in information, and how they go out and train in terms of their dedication, like I touched on it earlier on. But it's important that we look at also the teams that are in the National League South now. There are some very, very, very good clubs, football clubs in the National League South, and we've seen it again. There is a lot of financial power being thrown into it, so it's going to be exciting. no doubt about it. And everyone is going to be trying to beat everyone at this stage. Everyone is top of the league, and it's important that we understand that it's a 46-game season. There will be some that will start fast, there will be some that will start averagely, and there will be some that will start a bit slow. And we want to make sure we put ourselves in a position where, we are in a very, very balanced position and not running ahead of ourselves. We don't want to pick too early because it's important to maintain that balance. However, we need to ensure that, we go out and stay competitive throughout the 95 minutes that we play in games, and make sure the players understand the principles in and out of possession. And it's important that we know our opponent in terms of how we analyze them and prepare and show those respects in our preparation throughout the week leading to any football match.
George, heading into your third full season as manager, best of luck with it all, and everyone connected with the club wishes you and your management team and the players every success at Hemel tomorrow. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much.